Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I figured I'd stop and get some fuel, go out for a little ride this afternoon, and talk about wind therapy, or maybe a little too much wind therapy. Let's get to that topic. Roll that intro. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. I decided this afternoon I'd take a little afternoon ride. It's in probably in the 50s right now. Pleasant day for February. I will say that it's not been much of a winter. It's not that I'm complaining. It's definitely been a mild winter this year for us here in Virginia. It hasn't really been normal per se that I'm used to. Because typically I wouldn't be riding this time of year yet, but seems without getting more opportunity to do so, I'd figure I'd go ahead and take advantage of it. I will say that it is a little windy today. Well, windy maybe in my realm. I know some of you out there that probably live out in the Midwest, not necessarily surrounded by a lot of these mountains that we have around here in Virginia, like the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Appalachians and all that. They do a good job of blocking a lot of these crosswinds and all, but you know, it's probably blowing around 20 miles an hour, which I'm sure that's kind of a joke to some, that you know what, 20 miles an hour, that's nothing. I mean, but you know, when you're on a lighter bike like the Scout, around 560 pounds, and you know, it probably will blow you around a little bit. And so, you know, either way, it's still a nice ride. So I was just wondering, like, what's probably the strongest wind conditions that you have rode in before on a motorcycle? You know, have you rode in 40, 50, 60 mile an hour gusts? Well, I guess I would say that gusts in an aspect of things is that wind gusts necessarily aren't sustained wind speeds or consistent wind speeds, but you know, it obviously affects your riding and you know how the bike handles. I mean, and this is probably coming from someone like me that, you know, I do ride a lighter bike, and I know the bigger bikes, you know, they got more weight to them, they're more stable, so they're probably easier to hold on the road, and a lot of the fairings and the bat wings, windscreens, the windshields, all that, you know, does a good job of protecting you and all. So I mean, that's what the purpose of those are for. I've been riding with this dark classic fly screen, and here back over the winter I've been debating on whether or not to look into getting something else. I mean, it does a great job of taking the wind off your chest, as I had showed in previous videos. And one thing about it is that I've done some research into it, and as you get into more taller windshields, fairings and all, you run into, you know, issues with wind buffeting, and you know, like buffeting at your helmet, rocking your helmet around. I mean, I always wear a full face helmet, so it doesn't really bother me that much. And you know, but I'm just wondering, like, should I leave it as it is, or should I look into potentially an upgrade. I've been looking at a couple options. I know Dart, I got this Dart Classic fly screen, and they Dart makes this Dart Marlin windscrene that it's a little bit taller than this one, and I've heard it's got some pretty good reviews. The only fairing that I've looked at a couple fairings for this, but I don't really want to change the aesthetics of the Scout. I want to kind of keep it as it is, like, or at least try to keep stuff minimal to a point. But I do really like the Road Warrior fairing by Memphis Shades, and I do like a couple of their windshields by Memphis Shades. They're pretty nice. You know, and really honestly, like a day like right now, even this wind that's blowing right now, it's like, you know, I going, you know, 55, 60 miles an hour. I mean, even with this, it's really honestly not that bad. And, you know, it is nice to have some of this wind blowing on you. You know, I'd say the only advantage that the fairing or a taller windshield would have for me would be under weather conditions. You know, it's like if I'm riding, say, in the rain, or if I'm riding any kind of weather, that would be nice to keep that off of my helmet, you know, and all. But like I said, I ride with a full face, so it does seem to make it a little bit better. But like I said, the topic is about riding in the wind, windshields, fairings. What's the worst type of wind condition that you have rode your motorcycle in? And let's just add to that topic, have you ever rode your bike without a fairing or a windshield and just rode it as it is? I mean, these bikes are, you know, sold from the factory without a windscreen, without a windshield, and it just as it is. And believe it or not, you get pretty much little to no wind buffeting without a windscreen. Of course, you take it from like the chest area, you know, and it, you know, that can fatigue you over time. But you know, it's just, I think it comes down to a matter of not necessarily being fatigued in this type of riding. You know, you get on the interstate with this, and you're going 70, 80 miles an hour, it's a different story. Secondary roads like this, you know, I can just about ride all day on a road like this. It's a much more pleasant experience. You know, it takes a little bit longer to get there, but it's well worth it. Alright everybody, I think it's enough yapping for today, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a like. If you didn't, well, you know, give me a dislike. And thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you next time.